In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to start on your graphics once you are done with the tutorial for your endless game. So in this example here, I've got the driving game here. I don't have the coding done in it yet, but you can see I've got the street and I've got the car itself in the scene. So now let's assume that my tutorial is all done, the game is working, the coding is all working, and now I want to go in and I want to customize these graphics. So here's how you can do it. Let me show you my desktop. So here's my project folder, and when I open up my project folder, you can see that I've got my actual game inside there, and then I've got my actual assets inside here, and here are all of the assets for the game. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up Krita, and I'm just going to do File, Open, or click on Open right here at the beginning. And I'm going to navigate to my desktop folder, my driving game folder, and go look inside the driving assets folder. And this is the one that I want to work on, the car. So this is the red car here. So you'll notice over here in my layers, I only have one layer. I don't want to actually work on that. Matter of fact, I might even lower the opacity a little bit just to make it a little more see-through. So the first thing I want to do is I want to click to add a new layer, and this is going to be where I will do all of my work. Okay, I'm going to change my brush size so it matches my canvas a little bit better. There we go. Okay, so this isn't going to be a painting video. I'm just going to show you how I can make some changes here, big or small, and then I can put those changes into my game very quickly. Okay, so first I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do File, Save As, and I'm going to save it as a Krita document. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call it car.kra, Krita document, and hit Save. And by doing that, I now have saved all of my two layers over here. So now whatever I do, if I ever need to make any changes, I can always come back and I can make those changes again. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get started. So this is the part where you would pick your brushes, you would pick your colors, and you could go in and you could start making your changes as dramatic as you want. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pause the screen recording, and I'll come back once I've made all of my changes, and then we'll pick up from there. Okay, so what I'm going to show you before I put any finishing touches on this is how you can go ahead and colorize and brighten or darken your car here. So what I have here is I'm going to take the original layer and I'm going to come down to this button down here, and that's the duplicate. And so now I have an exact copy that you can see of over here. I'm going to go ahead and hide the original, and I'm going to take this copy, and to change the color, I'm going to go up here to the filter menu, adjust, and I'm going to go choose HSV adjustment. HSV stands for hue, saturation, and lightness. So the hue, if I drag that slider, you'll see that I can change it to any color of the color wheel. So that's really cool. The saturation is I can make it really vivid. Or if I desaturate it, it's going to lose all of its color. So the further I go to the left, you'll see it loses its color. So I can make it really saturated. And of course, the lightness is going to make it really bright to really dark. So I can go ahead and play around with that. So it's kind of like getting a quick little cars paint job. So I can go ahead and settle on maybe this color right here, and then simply click on OK, and then the car is there. And now I can go in and I can customize it all the way I want. Okay, so these are the beautiful car adjustments that I've made here, and it's just two layers. It's the first layer is just the blue that got changed, and then I added on a couple little graphics there. It's nothing really nice, but it works. Okay, so again, before I bring this back over to GDevelop, I would do a file, save, and it's saved as a Krita document. So that way I have all my layers here. I can always come back and make changes anytime I want. Okay, now that I'm ready to bring it back into GDevelop, and you'll see again, the car is right here. I'm going to go back to File. I'm going to do Save As. I'm going to change the file type from a Krita document back to a PNG, so we get that transparent background. And I want to keep the red car just in case I want to go back to it. So maybe I want to go ahead and call it, maybe I want to call it something like player car. Okay, and I'll just call it player car because that's really obvious. I'll hit save and I'll say okay, good. Okay, so now I'll go back to GDevelop and I'll just click on my car, edit object. I'll click to add a new animation. I'll go into my folder and of course find, here it is, player car, open it up, and there it goes. Now to delete this red car, I'll simply, I can click on it, select it. I can right mouse click and choose delete selection, and then that goes away, hit apply, and boom, it takes over. And because it was based off of the red car, it takes up the exact same space, it's a perfect translation, and it just works better. And even though this isn't a really nice looking car, it's a little more interesting than just the flat red car. It's got a little bit more depth and interest to it. Okay, so for the rest of this project, you would do this to all of your graphics. So same thing for the highway. I would open that up in Krita. I would do a save it as a Krita document, and I would go ahead and make this look more interesting. Maybe put in some texture so it looked like asphalt, or make it look like a different environment altogether. Okay, I hope this helps you out, and I will see you in the next video.